Hey guys, Rob here and welcome to another episode of Rob's Quick Tips. Now today I'm going to be talking about glues and specifically the types of glues that I use. So the main go-to glue for me that I use is Bob Smith Industries. So these are all actually a type of super glue, but they have different viscosities and different purposes as well. So let's talk about the types of glue. Now I've got three different Bob Smith Industry glues here. We'll start with this purple one. So this is called Insta Cure. Now this is a super glue and it is a absolute one-touch stick. So you stick this down, it sticks there. You have no time at all to reposition parts with this one. This is if you need to hold something together straight away. Now I use this one a lot when I'm working with styrene sheet or plastic sheet because it dries and it really bonds styrene quite well. This also works really well for plastic or resin parts onto die cast as well. So all these Bob Smith Industry glues are super strong. So I do a lot of the construction in this particular glue. Now the next one I use is called Maxi Cure. Now this is in the pinkish bottle with the pink cap. Now this is a extra thick glue, as you can see here, and this gives you around 10 to 25 seconds before it absolutely goes off. So if you need to reposition your parts, this is a good go-to glue as well. Again, it's a super strong glue, but because it is extra thick, if you don't have a perfectly flat mating surface together and one part is a little bit rough, this glue is perfect for that because it is extra thick, excuse me. Now, most super glues are quite thin, so they will run out, but because this is extra thick, it is a really good glue for, as I say, if you have two surfaces that are a little bit rough, you'll still get a really tight bond because the glue will fill up the gap in between. So I use this as well for a lot of the major construction. Now the third glue I have here, which is also a Bob Smith Industries, excuse the shop label on there, but this one is called Super Gold Plus. Now the bonus of this glue is it is a non-fogging or non-hazing super glue. So this makes it very good for clear parts, but I also use this for fitting all the final pieces to, say, a painted body, like little trim pieces, windows, side mirrors, things like that, where you don't want any hazing around the part onto your painted body. So this is really quite good for that purpose. So I use this mainly for final assembly because it's still a super glue, it's still a super strong bond, but you do not get any hazing. Now another product that I use from Bob Smith Industries is called their debonder or Uncure. Now what this does is if you glue two parts together and you're not happy with the join, you can actually squirt some of this Uncure or debonder on the super glue joint and it will dislodge those two parts together. Now it does list on here that it is a CA remover or a super glue remover. I have used this for that purpose as well, to remove some little bits of surplus glue, but just be careful that it doesn't work on all paints and sometimes it will dull the area. Now that's okay if you can polish the paintwork, if you can get to it. This is great for removing super glue, but just be aware that it can dull the paintwork, and on some clear plastics as well, this will dull the plastic or haze the plastic. So just be very careful with this stuff. I only use this as a last resort, but I also sometimes, if I get a little bit of glue and I stick my fingers together, I can actually squirt this and pull my fingers apart. So this is really good to have in the arsenal of glues as well. So they're pretty much all the Bob Smith Industries types of glue that I use, and the debonder. As I said, the Super Gold Plus, I've been using that on clear parts for a long time because it doesn't fog, but I've now switched to another product for clear parts, and that is the MicroScale Kristal Klear. Now, I found this is fantastic. This has got a really strong bond if you let it cure properly, and it's water-based. Now, one thing about this, I'll open this one up and show you. So this pretty much looks like a wood glue. So as you can see there, it looks like a white PVA wood glue, but rest assured, when you apply it to the part, it will dry clear. So, and crystal clear, as the name suggests. So I now use this for all my clear parts. So gluing windows in, headlight covers, tail lights. Obviously there's zero fogging with this because it is a water-based product. And if you get a little bit of glue on the paintwork or around where you're gluing it, you can just get a Q-tip, wet the end of it in some water, and you can wipe away the excess glue, which is fantastic. You can't do that with super glue, but being that this is a water-based glue, you can do that. Now, one last quick tip before we end this video about glues is the application of glues. Now, a lot of these bottles do have a little fine nozzle on there, but unless I'm gluing big things together, I rarely apply the glue onto the parts straight out of the bottle. This is where toothpicks come in handy, so always keep a stock of toothpicks. And what I always will do, I'll show you this as an example. To apply glue on lots of parts, I'll just use some old business cards, squirt the glue onto the business card, and then I'll actually use toothpicks, and you can dip it in the glue and then you can apply it to your parts. Now, this is a much more precise way of applying glue, and I strongly recommend that you guys try that if you're not already trying that. I mean, this video is pretty much for mostly beginner to moderate. You expert builders as well will know about all these tips and tricks, but definitely apply your glue to the area on the model with toothpicks rather than squirting it straight out of the bottle. So that's basically it. That explains the types of glue that I use. It's very hard for me in Australia to buy these Bob Smith Industry glues from model shops, but you can find those on eBay. There's plenty of sellers all around the world that sell these, same as the MicroScale Clear. Just try your local hobby shops. I was actually able to get this one from an Australian store, but I highly recommend this one for all your clear parts. So that's going to wrap up today's video on glues. So I hope you enjoyed today's quick video. If you're new to the channel, why not subscribe? Don't forget to smash that like button and stay tuned for the next video. So until next time, thanks for watching Rob's Model Cars.